Now at 10, as continued mudslides are happening in Little Cottonwood Canyon, UDOT crews are working hard to keep the roads open and safe. More on how they're doing that. Plus,
answers. The family is looking for answers.
A Utah family is asking for your help almost 2 years after their granddaughter went missing. How much they're offering for any information. And ABC4's Craig Worth takes us back in time with newspaper ads and photos of a popular May tradition in tonight's Worth Watching.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Hello, I'm Sarah Murphy. Thanks for joining us this evening for ABC4 News at 10. Our top story tonight, a Santaquin man is dead after a truck rolled him over in his yard. His wife finding out just hours later she's pregnant with their third child. 23-year-old Jonathan Rodriguez and his 47-year-old mother Sonia were doing yard work together when police say Rodriguez's child climbed in the truck and pulled the gear shift. They say the truck rolled backwards, running them over. Rodriguez died at the scene. Now, we spoke with family members who say he was an amazing husband and father. They say they're thankful for the love and support they felt from family, friends, and even strangers this weekend. The family of a missing Utah girl is asking for your help almost 2 years after she disappeared. They're offering thousands. In July 2021, then 16-year-old Candace Harris was in a treatment center in Salt Lake City when she hopped a fence and ran away. Her family hasn't seen her now almost 2 years later. They're offering $30,000 for any information about Candace. Her case is now an active cold case. Family members say they don't want the tips to stop, and they're not giving up.
I wish I had $100,000 to put out on Candace's reward, but realistically, my family, we don't have a lot of money, but at the same time, you can't put a value on a child's life. I mean, I would give $1 million if I could find Candace right now and bring her home.
And they're asking for your help. So if you have any information on Candace's location, you can call Salt Lake Police, or for an anonymous report, you can call the number you're seeing right there on the bottom of your screen. In developing news, we're tracking the latest conditions in Little Cottonwood Canyon after a mudslide closed down State Route 210 last week. ABC4's Annika Johns joins us live in studio after meeting with experts about what plans they have to keep everyone traveling through the canyon safe. Annika.
That's right, Sarah. On Tuesday, a mudslide closed down Little Cottonwood Canyon, and on Friday, even more debris covered the road in the same area. In response, officials with UDOT placed a spotter in the area to keep an eye out for potential danger.
Last week, Little Cottonwood Canyon looked like this, but now it looks like this. Last week's mudslide left the road closed as the Utah Department of Transportation cleaned up the 4-foot deep, 100-foot wide mudslide.
I think sometimes when people think mud, they think soft, wet, and this is very compact. This brings down with it huge boulders, rock, trees and stumps, branches, all sorts of debris. So it's a big cleanup effort when it does happen.
UDOT reopened Little Cottonwood Canyon, but placed a spotter to keep an eye on the area instead of closing State Route 210 indefinitely.
We want to let people get to where they're going, but we need to make sure it's safe. So we have a spotter that's in the canyon, and he is actually watching that mudslide area, and if he sees any activity or hears anything, it's a very distinctive sound, then we've got about 30 to 40 seconds before it hits the road, and we stop traffic, let the mud move past harmlessly.
And last week's mudslide and rock movement, UDOT says, proved their method works.
He stopped the traffic and it came down. We closed the canyon for a couple hours and cleaned it up again and opened it up.
Tomorrow, UDOT plans to decide if they'll continue to have the spotter in place, but that it all depends on what they're seeing in the mountains.
We just want to look at the stability of the mountainside and see if there are any signs of movement. And, once we're comfortable that the activity has stopped, and maybe the weather cools down, we can make that determination to pull the spotter.
Officials with UDOT say that they've been working with their geotechnicians and are really looking at that mountainside with a drone and helicopter to really keep an eye on the area for any of that potential movement, all to help to determine if keeping the spotter in the canyon is their best course of action moving forward. Back to you at the desk, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Annika. Now, starting tomorrow, Snowbird Ski Resort slowly wrapping up its season. Mineral Basin Express and Baldy Express are closed Monday through Thursday, and as long as the weather allows, they'll reopen on the weekends from Friday to Sunday. Now, this also includes the Woodward Mountain Park, which closes for the season after May 14th. Checking now in with meteorologist Nate Larson. Nate, it's been a long winter. They're still open.
Yeah, in fact, I just checked. I saw Snowbird in the rundown. I was like, wait, they are still open.
I know, a bit of a double take.
Through the end of the month, at least on the weekends possibly. So yeah, still some snow up there. And we had some showers here in the valley. Here's a look at Tooele. Look at this beautiful rainbow shot. Doug Attridge sent in this photo from this afternoon. Just a drizzle of rain, he said, but enough to generate the rainbow. Most of the valley only saw a few hundredths of an inch of moisture. In fact, the almanac for Salt Lake not picking up any moisture at the airport, but some areas around Salt Lake County saw a few hundredths of an inch. Our high was 65 today, so a little cooler than normal. 69 is average, 89 the record high. Typically, we're in the upper 40s for overnight lows. We're a little cooler, a little chillier this morning, and we're expecting similar temperatures moving into tomorrow as far as overnight lows, but warmer in the afternoon. Very limited moisture still lingering this evening. In fact, we're clearing out this evening as the moisture is pushing off towards the east. It should start out pretty quiet tomorrow for your Monday start, but then we will see increasing moisture into the afternoon, and we're expecting another chance of some showers and storms for much of northern and even portions of central Utah, as we're expecting some additional moisture. Not sure what was happening with Futurecast there. It was pretty skittish. Out the door forecast then, we'll show you the timeline, however. 57 degrees as you head out at 9 o'clock, about 68 at noon. Have a rain jacket or an umbrella handy in the afternoon. Some showers are likely. Temperatures will be in the low 70s, though, so a little bit above average. We'll continue to see a threat of thunderstorms as well. Sarah?
All right, thank you, Nate. In an update tonight, a man is in jail after vandalizing cars in the side of a business Saturday morning. Salt Lake City police arrested 28-year-old David Kaloka. They say he's responsible for spray painting these cars you're seeing right there in the side of a pet daycare on North Temple, about a block away from the Utah State Fairgrounds. Police say he did over $1,500 worth of damage. He's now booked in the Salt Lake County Metro Jail. And new at 10, the co-founder of Utah company Burt Brothers Tire and Service has passed away. That man was 68-year-old Wendell Burt. Now, Wendell and his brother started the business in Bountiful in 1991. His family says it's grown beyond anything he would have guessed. They also say Wendell Burt's heart and hands reached out far and wide to those things most important to him, people he loved and cared for, organizations with whom he worked, and charitable causes he embraced. In consumer news, if you're looking to buy a house, you might be facing some high prices. The Utah Housing Corporation is now working to help first-time buyers take that first step. They're working with builders and lenders, providing down payment assistance to help people buy their first home. A bill passed during this year's legislative session is adding to the portfolio, saying in part it provides up to $20,000 in help for that new home in assistance, and that $20,000 can be used for interest rate buy down, closing costs, or down payment assistance. So for more information on the program, you can visit the website you're seeing right there on the bottom of your screen. And today, American flags at federal buildings across the country are flying half-staff to honor firefighters who died in the line of duty. The National Fallen Firefighters Foundation hosted a memorial in Maryland this morning, recognizing those gone but not forgotten.
Bells ringing loud in memory of those gone.
We gather today to pay our respects to our nation's firefighters who died in the line of duty.
Hundreds gathered in Maryland this weekend to honor 144 firefighters that died in the line of service. 79 of those just died last year.
Bells like these are ringing across the country to honor your loved ones, your fallen firefighters.
One of those firefighters, a Utah man. Former Unified Fire Engineer J. Chris Cage responded to the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. He died in 2020 from an illness he got from the attacks. The Color Guard also honoring every person filling the seats, the families.
This weekend happens because of our fire hero families.
This weekend, to honor those fallen, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation says you can light up your homes and businesses with the color red.
All right, and we have more moisture in the forecast. This is a look at futurecast precipitation through Wednesday morning. We'll time out when we expect to see showers, possibly thunderstorms, with your pinpoint weather forecast after the break.